Welcome to Triumph IAS. It's a daily mains practice question and answer series. This program is exclusively designed for UPSC CSE aspirants. In this video discussion, we will discuss UPSC CSE mains previous 25-year questions. Question number 1. The spirit tolerance and love is not only an interesting feature of Indian society from very early times, but it is also playing an important part at the present. Elaborate. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. India is undoubtedly one of the most diverse countries in the world. People differ from each other in terms of race, religion, caste, language, ethnicity, and culture. Therefore, different set of people hold different set of beliefs. In spite of all the differences, India has maintained its social harmony and evolved a composite culture only because of the spirit of tolerance and love that is an inherent feature of the Indian society. The main body of the answer should be number 1. The doctrines of Buddhism and Jainism, specifically their emphasis on non-violence, promoted the spirit of tolerance in the ancient times. The message of oneness of God by the Sufi saints and the Bhakti saints continued the spirit of tolerance to the medieval times. Their advocacy for tolerance, sympathy, concept of equality attracted both Muslims and Hindus. Number 2. Mughal Emperor Akbar listened to scholars from different religions, faiths, and also ensured that no group of people holding a faith different from the majority are being harassed. Number 3. Parsis were persecuted in Iran, Jews in Hitler's Germany. But both have intermingled with Indian society for centuries and have become an integral part of the Indian society. Number 4. In modern times, philosophers like Rabindranath Tagore and Vivekananda also preached the message of tolerance and love. Number 5. Gandhi and many other nationalist leaders strived for Hindu-Muslim harmony, fought against social evils such as child marriage and untouchability, and were quite successful. Satyagraha is the best example to that in modern times. Number 6. Even today in our country, we are choosing Satyagraha as the best method to achieve our demands. That heritage have been continuing even today. Number 7. Though sometimes politicians, antisocial elements, communal organizations trying to disturb the order, but still common man is showing lot of tolerance. Number 8. If their genuine concerns are there, they will fight with the government but not with the other sections. Accepting the culture, movies, dressing style, etc. Shown that are tolerance levels of the day. Conclusion of the answer is: despite of all its orthodoxy towards religion, Indian society has seen major religious reforms from time to time. This in itself is a testimony to the fact that Indian society is not just tolerant but is also open to inculcate modern and rational ideas. Question number 2. Electronic cash transfer system for the welfare schemes is an ambitious project to minimize corruption, eliminate wastage, and facilitate reforms. Comment. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Recent studies by the Planning Commission have shown that the public distribution system has become so inefficient that 58% of the subsidized grains do not reach the targeted group and almost a third of it is siphoned off the supply chain. The main body of the answer should be number 1. According to the Finance Ministry, the inefficiencies of the PDS show that the government is forced to spend 3 rupees and 65 paise for transferring of 1 rupee to the poor. The idea behind the direct cash transfer, DBT, is to cut down wastage, duplication, and leakages, and also to enhance efficiency. Number 2. The idea is to move to a completely electronic cash transfer system for the entire population. On 1st January 2013, the Government of India rolled out the DCT covering 7 welfare schemes in 20 districts in 16 states. Number 3. The program covers schemes like educational scholarship for the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes and pensions to widows. Among other objectives like better delivery, more accurate targeting, giving broader choice to the beneficiaries, reducing pilferage and corruption. The program is also aimed at cutting the massive subsidy bill of 1,64,000 crore rupees. Number 4. The government is of the opinion that the program can generate much-needed budget savings by eliminating corruption. The Prime Minister has set up three-tier architecture for monitoring the scheme. This includes a National Ministerial Committee, a National Executive Committee, and implementation committees. Number 5. The government launched Direct Cash Transfer Scheme on 1st January 2013 to transfer cash into bank accounts of beneficiaries across 20 districts in the country. The scheme has now been rechristened as Direct Benefits Transfer (DBT) and curtailed beneficiary districts to 20. It covers 7 welfare schemes instead of 20. Conclusion of the answer is: at least 2 lakh beneficiaries are expected to benefit from DBT scheme immediately. Food, fertilizers, and fuel have been kept out of its purview for the present. It will have problems with banks, post offices, and online connectivity. These have to be resolved. Question number 3. The northeastern region of India has been infested with insurgency for a very long time. Analyze the major reasons for the survival of armed insurgency in this region. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. The insurgencies in Northeast are a reflection of its social, cultural, ethnic and linguistic diversity. In recent times, Assam, Nagaland, Manipur and Meghalaya have been infested with insurgency. The main body of the answer should be: Number 1. The region is home to a curious amalgam of cross-cutting societies, and the tendency for ethno-political assertion is high among almost all the groups. Number 2. Factors responsible for the survival of armed insurgency in northeastern region: strategic location of the region and the outside influence. Number 3. The demands of the tribal communities like Naga, Bodo, Kuki, Manipuri, etc. have not been met. The insurgent groups are still able to manage finances through extortion and external aid from neighboring countries. Number 4. Safe haven for the insurgents in neighboring countries, ex-Myanmar. Prolonged use of AFSP Act in the region and reported instances of human rights violations by security forces have generated trust deficit among local population. Number 5. Consistent failure of central and state governments to break a deal in peace negotiations. Statehood demands in certain regions like Borderland, Karbi Angalong, etc. Number 6. Difficult terrain and dense forest makes the combat and patrolling operations difficult for the security forces. Conclusion of the answer is: lack of development in the region, lack of infrastructure and employment opportunities, intrusion of outsiders, and changing demography of the region are among the various other factors fueling the insurgency in the region.